Okay, picture this. You're cozied up on the couch, delving into a new game that's caught your attention. The gameplay is captivating, the story is enthralling, and before you know it, you're completely immersed. Hours fly by unnoticed as if you find yourself pulled deeper into the virtual world, eventually realizing that dawn is breaking outside your window and you unwittingly spent the entire night gaming away. What's up, everyone? I'm Russ Lyman and this is Rob.
You know I never need sleep, right?
I know, but I need to change your batteries sometimes.
You keep your dirty hands out of my battery slot.
So I just wanted to discuss some great stories, captivating gameplay that I experienced with these games here. So this week's topic we're getting into...
games that kept me up past my bedtime.
Alright, first game on the list, Bioshock. Now I was a little late to playing this game, but once I got around to playing it, I was so intrigued by the world, the lore, the look of the game, the soundtrack. I live streamed all three of these games and had a blast playing them. Definitely stayed up late trying to get further because you want to know what happens with the story in the game. There's so many cool things to find that develop the story a little bit more. You get little tidbits here and there, and it was great with all the cool elements that you get. You can use lightning and fire, or you could just use your regular shotgun weapon to take on a big daddy. So much fun with Bioshock. Love staying up playing this one. Plus the creepy atmosphere made you not want to sleep.
Sure, it's fun to play, looks spectacular, and is easy to control, but it also does something no other game has done to date. It really makes you feel Los Angeles times.
Now, keeping with that creepy atmosphere, gotta have Super Metroid on here. When this came out, boy oh boy, such an upgrade. It was on the Super Nintendo. So excited to dive back into this world. And so much more to explore. And now you get a map so you can't get lost as easily as you were maybe on the Game Boy or the Nintendo one. So I can remember countless sleepovers with my friends to playing some Super Metroid, trying to get a little bit further. You know, we each had maybe our own copy, and maybe we brought one over on the sleepover, and it's like, okay, what upgrades did you get? Where are you stuck? Did you get the speed boots yet? And this does such a great job with the atmosphere, to be alone in space, that isolation. The music is so fantastic in each area, puts that mood perfectly. Makes you want to stay up and continuously play and search for more upgrades. It's 100% the game, and once you beat it, you can even go back, try to find some more. I love it. Super Metroid ends up on a ton of lists, so I'm sure it's not the last time we'll be talking about it here on the channel.
Maybe you can dedicate a future episode to all about Super Metroid.
Oh yeah, maybe, Rob. Noted. Alright, let's get on to the next one on the list. And we gotta have a frustrating NES game on here, right? Ninja Gaiden. Man, this one was awesome. Many times I rented this for the weekend and enjoyed playing it, getting further and further. It was all about repetition and practice with this one, just getting better, being able to dodge the enemies better, or maybe know what kind of sub-weapon to use that might help you along in the game. But I enjoyed the cutscenes. Again, a great story behind this. And, you know, you probably wouldn't expect that from a Ninja game, but I can remember the cutscenes vividly, so vividly I got one of them tattooed on me, so I remember it forever. And yeah, just so much great things to say about this game, and you get just sucked up into playing, even though it is so very difficult. You keep coming back for more, right? At least for the first one. I feel like all of us played this first one a ton. We got the first couple levels down pat, so we can whip through it, enjoy the fantastic music, and just give it a go. So had to add Mortal Kombat 11 on the list. I remember going to GameStop for the midnight release. Technically, they gave it out early, so it was like 10 p.m., but I grabbed it, headed home, and jumped on to live stream it. I was live streaming the Switch version here, and I figured a lot of people would be playing the PlayStation 4 Xbox version, so I thought it'd be unique to stream the Switch version. And I played through the story mode, enjoyed it so much. This is the, first time I experienced having a story mode in a Mortal Kombat game. And such a big epic story too. They let you go through all the characters, and how they incorporate the fights into the story is fantastic. And then just learning all the moves, getting good at a few characters, maybe learning their fatalities. It just made me want to stay up and keep playing this game.
The general graphics look exceptionally worse, but even at its base level, Mortal Kombat 11 is an absolute gorgeous game, and a lot of that does come through on the Switch version. IGN.
Yo, it just brutality Shao Kahn.
Well, this game has certainly come a long way from when it first released back in 1992 in the arcades.
Yeah, I certainly sunk a lot of quarters into that one.
Where'd you get the quarters, Russ?
I took them from my mom's purse.
Unbelievable.
What's the big deal? Don't judge me.
We're not at Planet Fitness. This is the internet.
All right, Mega Man X. One fantastic game for sure. Some late nights playing this one. So many things to discover in this game, and so fantastic. Once we beat it, we wanted to redefine, okay, how can we beat it quicker? What bosses, should we tackle first? Funny enough, as kids, we thought we should record our gameplay. So I have a VHS tape that we hooked a VCR up to our Super Nintendo, and I have my playthrough of Mega Man X on VHS. Forget how many hours it took me, but I had gotten so good that I was like, hey, I could play through this game in one sitting, and let's record it. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Again, bringing this over to a friend's house, staying up, just playing Mega Man X and enjoying it so much, and then learning about all the secrets in it, going back trying to get all the upgradable armor. So much to do in this game. Fantastic. All right, we're going to have mixed opinions on this one, but Metroid Other M. This came out for the Wii. Some people don't enjoy it. I really like this game. I didn't get into the Prime series that much because it was first person, so I was so excited when I heard this was coming to the Wii and it was going to have that third person aspect brought back that, I loved so much in Super Metroid. I personally think that's how Metroid games should be. I really enjoyed Metroid Dread when it came out, and this is kind of giving me those vibes there. Very cool concept. I thought the storyline, take it or leave it, whatever. I was more about the gameplay. I really enjoyed playing this one, and I definitely remember getting close to the end and was like, I'm gonna beat this game. And I thought I was close, and then it was like another 2 hours had gone by, and then I knew I was close, and I was like, I have to stay up to beat this game. So I think one night I ended up playing it probably 8-10 hours just so I could see the ending of the game, and it was a blast. And I'd love to go back and give this one another go, maybe live stream this one. Let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy Metroid Other M?
Filtering the hate comments as they come in.
Oh, what? You could do that, Rob?
Oh, you have so much to learn about my full abilities.
You're so odd. Okay, well, the next one on my list, I haven't seen on most people's list. They don't really talk about this game, but I know people love this game. Lunar, the Silver Star story. Now, I did play it originally on Sega CD, but I don't have my Sega CD copy anymore, but I do have the PlayStation version. I believe they're similar. But diving into this game and not knowing anything about it, picked it up for the Sega CD, and I was like, okay, it's, like an RPG, almost like a Link to the Past-ish, meets Final Fantasy, and I just got so involved in the story. I love these cutscenes with the voice actors. I thought the story was so captivating and just drew you in, and you really felt for the characters in the game. You wanted to keep going on this quest and help each other out and try to save the world. And it's just so beautiful to look at. I love all these cutscenes. And then, it's an RPG, so you gotta do some grinding to get your level up. So certainly remember staying up late, grinding just so I could get stronger so we could make it to the new area or defeat the boss that was too hard. And, back then I had plenty of time to do that, so I could stay up late, grinding away on Lunar. Now, I never did get to play the sequel, Eternal Blue, so hopefully I can maybe do that and complete the story.
Your harp. You're playing so strange. Is something bothering you? You can tell me. Alex, please tell me what's wrong.
Some of these games just really pull you in with the story or gameplay that you cannot stop playing.
Yes, I love a good story that keeps you guessing what's going to happen next.
Okay guys, let's jump over to the community tab and see what you guys had to say with games that kept you up past your bedtime. Joseph Rogers says, I've had to say 2 games. They were Super Mario 64 and the game Shadow Man for the N64. I remember getting that one on PC, but my PC couldn't play the game, so maybe I'll check out the N64 version. Purge and Splurge Thriftin said, I vividly remember pulling an all-nighter on Christmas break 96 playing Mario 64. I didn't realize how late it was until I heard my dad getting up and getting ready to go to work. I must have been playing for dang near 18 hours straight. I had to get all the stars though. Wow, talk about an epic gaming adventure. Hey, good job on those stars. Retro Patronum says Age of Empires on the PC. Now, I never played that one, but I can imagine you could sink some hours into it. Waves and Games says Halo 2, the greatest midnight launch I've ever been a part of. Retro Card Collector says OG Final Fantasy on the NES. I could think of at least 2 nights of no sleep with friends playing that one as kids. Alex Kaz, GTA 3 on the PS2. I had the cheat codes memorized too. Phoenix Cerberus comes in, Final Fantasy VI, 3 in the US. I was in middle school and a friend let me borrow it. We probably don't remember, but that Game Genie was $79.99 at launch. That would make it equivalent to $160 today. Explains why we had just few choice games. But I remember I was so hooked on Final Fantasy III, and since I had to return it, I played it until 2 a.m. I would fake to fall asleep and then get up to play it in the middle of the night. I actually stayed home one day from school to get through Daryl's Tomb storyline. Now I have a copy of that game on SNES, PS1, GBA, iOS, and Switch. Nostalgia can be a powerful thing. Wow, love that story. Sneaking, playing the game at night, fake sleeping, love it.
Receiving transmission.
Oh, it seems we have someone else that has trouble getting to bed.
Hey Russ, what you doing?
Oh, hey, it's Michael B. the Game Genie.
What the heck is a Game Genie?
You've never heard of a Game Genie?
You never heard of a Game Genie?
No.
Have you not heard of this? No, you put your games in it so then you can cheat on the game and get further in it.
First stealing, now cheating. I feel like I don't even know you anymore.
So the game I want to talk about is a great game on the NES with a great soundtrack.
Batman!
Whoa, flashback! It's Batman. I was a huge Batman fan growing up, absolutely falling in love with the Tim Burton 1989 Michael Keaton Jack Nicklaus movie, and everything tied into it from the toys, even car models, and of course the video game was a must play. I loved the video game because it had amazing music, amazing graphics, the gameplay was phenomenal, what's not to love, but I never got very far in it because I did find it a little bit difficult as a kid. But I would come back and revisit it as an adult because a friend of mine and fellow YouTuber, Billy from the Game Chasers, had actually posted he finished it, and I figured if he could do it, maybe I could do it too, so I decided to go back to it and try to actually get through the entire game. Now, while the game is somewhat challenging, it's really not, because it has unlimited continues, which means any game with unlimited continues can be beaten. It's just gonna take a while. So I started at like 10 o'clock at night, which is the time most people will be comfortable in their bed, but I decided I was gonna stay up until I beat Batman, and it was going pretty well. I got through the levels quick enough, learned the mechanics, learned the gameplay. I was doing really well. That is until I got to the Joker. You see, the Joker is your typical NES boss in the fact that he can be beaten, and he can be beaten easily when you get his pattern down. The problem is the pattern is just so goddamn erratic. Like, it just kind of moves all around the place. He shoots his gun, which you have to be far enough back to avoid, but then you also have to be close enough to punch him, and he's actually going to run at you, and believe me, he's going to run right through you, and the only way to protect yourself is to actually punch him at exactly the right time, which will make him flash, negating any impact to Batman. And no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't get the pattern down. Now, of course, this game has unlimited continues, but it doesn't have a password system, so if I turned off or stopped playing my game, I would have to start all over again, and I didn't want to do that, so I ended up playing him over and over and over again for 7 hours until it was bright and early and the sun was shining in the morning, and I had still not beaten the Joker. And then finally, through pure fluke, the pattern just worked one time. I managed to knock Jack Nicholson off the clock tower, and hurrah, I beat Batman on the NES.
Wow, Michael B., thanks so much for sharing that story with us. Now, without further ado, let's get to my top 3 games that kept me up past my bedtime. Number 3! If we're talking about staying up late, this game had to make the list, and that is the original Silent Hill. My God, with this game, playing it late at night, being in the basement, playing this game with the lights off, wow. Just the scenes you would see, the cutscenes here of the gruesomeness, the fog everywhere, so you didn't know what enemies were coming out. You would just hear sounds in the distance. You're like, are they coming for me? Or when the siren came out and you knew everything was changing and you were going to get these harder, difficult enemies coming after you. Just the locations, a creepy old school that you could barely see. All you have is your flashlight. Staying up late playing this game. I mean, it was more maybe paranoia. You didn't want to go to bed because you were afraid. I can definitely remember, walking late at night from my friend's house back home and like seeing things out of the corner of my eye, or like, what was that sound? Definitely plays with your mind and keeps you up. But once you want to progress the story and see what's going to happen, so you continue on, even though.
To mitigate limitations on the console's hardware, developers used fog and darkness to muddle the graphics and the pop-ins, which in return helped to set up the atmosphere and mystery of the game.
Thank God you came back. I was scared to be here all alone.
I'm here now. I was worried too.
Number 2! All right, number 2 to flip the script, Chrono Trigger. Need I say more? This game is fantastic. One of my favorites for sure. I'm actually finishing up a tattoo piece of Chrono on my arm next week, so I can't wait to get that finished. But this is definitely one of my favorite games. So happy I still have my complete box copy from when I was a kid. And again, RPGs, fantastic story. I love time travel stories. Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies. So playing Chrono Trigger and having the different timelines, you can beat the game multiple different ways. Once I had found that out, I thought, oh my God, like, can you fight Lavos at the very beginning, after you get like your new game plus? And when I had gotten the game on the DS, it actually shows how many different endings you can get, and you can fill those up. But love all the characters in this. The music, again, fantastic. I have the soundtrack and I love enjoying listening to it. But again, it just keeps you wanting more. You want to keep playing and progress that story or level up your characters maybe. And it's just so much fun. Love playing Chrono Trigger.
It was a critical and commercial success upon release, receiving multiple accolades from gaming publications, and is considered one of fourth generation console gaming's most significant titles. Had sold 2.5 million copies by 2006, and among the greatest video games ever made.
Number 1!
And my number 1, Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. The GameStop Special Edition here. Definitely loved playing this one. I was so excited for it when it came out. Went to GameStop, had to pick it up day one and get this game. I was just blown away from, playing the earlier games. Now we're on to GameCube, and I'm like, these cutscenes are awesome. The voice acting, spot on. It really puts you in to this scenario, and you are frightened once you see these guys with chainsaws and bags on your head. You're not sleeping, you're staying up because you're going to be dreaming of those guys chasing you. And I just loved playing this over and over again, trying to get further and further, and so many different places you go in this game, starting out at the village and then progressing on, and you get the president's daughter, and now you have to protect her, and then having the quick time events that you have to be ready for, or make sure you have enough bullets so you can maybe snipe the people. So awesome on this game.
Resident Evil is regarded as one of the most influential games of the 2000s, particularly due to its influence in redefining the third-person shooter genre by introducing offset camera angles that do not obscure action.
Mom.
Sounds like a great idea. Mission accomplished. Right, Leon?
Not quite. I still have to get you home safe.
Well, those were a list of games that kept me up past my bedtime. I'd love to hear about some games from you guys watching.
Always remember to take breaks and maybe set time limits.
That's right, sleep deprivation is no joke, kids.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe! Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I had so much fun putting this list together. If you guys enjoyed this one, perhaps you enjoy NES games that came out after the Super Nintendo was released.
I bet you there's a few that made the list you never heard of.
As always, guys, I'm Russ Lyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit.